Last lecture we have studied the plate theory. This plate theory is related to the number of the theoretical plates. Number of the theoretical plate increases, efficiency increases. Now this plate theory explains the efficiency of the column related to number of the plate, but it fails to explain the peak broadening. Now this peak broadening will explain by another theory, which is the rate theory, or it is also called as a kinetic theory. This theory explains the peak broadening. Now due to the peak broadening, the column efficiency will decreases. What happens due to peak broadening? Column efficiency will decrease. Now this efficiency of the column is given by one equation, which is called as a Van Demeter equation, which gives the efficiency of the peak. The name of the equation is Van Demeter equation. This equation is given by H is equal to A plus B upon U plus Cu. Now what is this H? H is the height. This H is equal to plate height. It is given in the unit centimeter. Then the term U is flow rate. Okay. Then there are three terms. One is A, other is B and C. Now what are these terms? These terms are related to the band broadening. These terms will explain how band broadening will takes place. Now the A term means Eddy's diffusion, or it is also called as multipath effect. Now the second term is B. B means longitudinal diffusion. And C is the mass transfer effect. Now this mass transfer will occur by stationary phase as well as mobile phase. Therefore, this Cu is equal to Csu plus Cmu. Now what is this Csu? Csu means mass transfer of stationary phase and Cmu is mass transfer of the mobile phase. This is what? This is the Van Demeter equation, which is used to explain the band broadening. It gives the efficiency of the column is given by this equation. Now H is the plate height, which is given in centimeter. Now U is the flow rate, or it is also called as linear velocity of the mobile phase. Then A is what? Eddy's diffusion. It is also called as multipath effect. As the name indicates, multipath, there are different paths which followed in the column. Now the B means longitudinal diffusion and C is the mass transfer effect, mass transfer of stationary phase as well as mass transfer of the mobile phase. Now I will explain one by one all these terms. We will start first with eddy diffusion, means multipath effect. Eddy diffusion, or it is also called as multipath effect. Now, what is meant by eddy diffusion? Eddy diffusion is also called as multipath effect. Now, when we take one column, this column consists of the stationary phase. The stationary phase consists of various particle sizes. Therefore, if this is the column, it consists of stationary phase packed in this column, and there are the particles having the various sizes. Due to that, there are the various vacancies in these stationary phases. Now, when we flow the mobile phase along with the solute over this stationary phase, then what happens? Each component will travel through the different path. Okay. Now, some component have a shortest path, some component have a longest path. Now see, I will draw the diagram firstly here. If this narrower peak is of the injection peak when we applying the sample. If there are three components A, B and C, we are mixing that three components. This is the stationary phase. In which molecules are there. This is the packing of the stationary phase. Now what happens here? This A travel with one path. Look at this diagram. And reach and eluted first. Okay. Now B travel to the another path, because as there are various vacancies, when the mobile phase along with the solution run over these stationary phases, each component will travel with different path. Now B component will travel with the path which is slightly longest than the first path. Okay, that's why it requires some more time than the first molecule which required for the elution. Means retention time of the second particle is more than retention time of the first particle. Now we will see the third particle, which is C component, which will travel with other path. Which is the longest path, so that it will require some more time than first and second. Due to this, as these three components will require different time for the elution, because these three components will travel in the stationary phase with different path. Therefore, what happen? The peak will be like this. Okay. You can see here, due to this different path, what happen? There is the broadening of the peak. This broadening of the peak is due to the different retention time which require for these three different molecule because of the traveling of the different path. This A component will require shortest time because it travel the shortest route in the stationary phase. Therefore, A component will elute first, then B component will require some more time than A component, and C component will require largest time for the elution because it travels through the longest path. This is what Eddy's diffusion means, multipath effect. Now this multipath effect is shown by the liquid chromatography. Okay, and this multipath effect is not shown by the gas chromatography because in the gas chromatography the separation will take place faster. We are taking gas as a mobile phase. The gas will travel faster. The multipath effect is absent in the gas chromatography because gas flows with faster rate. They does not follow any path, but this liquid component will follow the path like this. Therefore, Eddy's diffusion or multipath effect is present in the liquid chromatography. It is absent in the gas chromatography. Then the Van Dimter equation for the gas chromatography will change, and it is given by H is equal to, as here Eddy's diffusion is absent, it is negligible quantity in the gas chromatography. The equation becomes B upon U plus Cu. In gas chromatography, longitudinal diffusion will occur with the flow rate and Eddy diffusion will be absent. Okay, this is all about the Eddy diffusion in Van Dimter equation. As this Eddy diffusion explains this band broadening, means rate theory can be useful to explain the band broadening. Eddy diffusion will explain the band broadening. Now we will see the next term, that is the longitudinal diffusion. Now one thing remaining. Now Eddy's diffusion is given by equation A is equal to 2 lambda dp. Now this A is Eddy's diffusion, lambda is the constant and dp is the diameter of the particle. Okay, the particle diameter of the stationary phase, means Eddy's diffusion is directly proportional to the diameter of the particle in the stationary phase. If this diameter of the particle in the stationary phase increases, then what happened? There are more spaces in the stationary phase and therefore Eddy's diffusion will increase, multipath effect will increase. But if this diameter of the particle is very small, this particle arrangement is the dense, so that vacancies created in this particle are also very less. Therefore, multipath effect decreases as diameter of this particle size decreases, and as diameter of the particle size increases, multipath effect will increases. This equation explains the Eddy diffusion. Now we will see the next term, that is the B. Now the B factor is longitudinal diffusion. Now what is this longitudinal diffusion? Diffusion means what? Species travel from higher concentration to lower concentration. That is what? Diffusion. Now see, if there are particles in higher concentration, okay, now when diffusion takes place, what happens here into the diffusion? Due to the diffusion, this is the higher concentration, it will travel towards the lower concentration, and after the diffusion it will look like this. Okay, now see in this diffusion what you can see. From the higher concentration, the diffusion takes place to the lower concentration. Then what means? There is a traveling of the mobile phase. Means when we put the mobile phase, it travels in the stationary phase. Now in stationary phase, it will travel like this. Okay, means there is the turbulence effect in the stationary phase. When mobile phase is traveling towards the stationary phase, there is the turbulence effect. What is turbulence effect? Turbulence effect means there is the more concentration at the center and there is a less concentration at the side of the wall. In the side of the wall there is the less concentration, and in the center there is the more concentration. Okay, this is what diffusion. Now in liquid chromatography, this diffusion will not takes place. Okay, but this diffusion will occur in the gas chromatography, because in gas chromatography, when we take a gas as a mobile phase, it will travel faster. And how the gas will flow? When the gas is flow over the mobile phase, there will be the turbulence like this. But when we put liquid phase, it will follow different path. Okay, or as this mobile phase, stationary phase is dense, then the components in the mobile phase will follow the path. It will spend more time in the stationary phase. That's why they will come with the less velocity. But when we put gas as a mobile phase, there is the high velocity of the gas molecule and we observe the turbulence effect. This turbulence effect is observed in the gas chromatography. Therefore, Van Dimter equation is as it is in gas chromatography. But in liquid chromatography, this longitudinal diffusion is absent. Therefore, this equation is changed in liquid chromatography, and the equation becomes H is equal to A plus, as B is the longitudinal diffusion and it is the negligible in liquid chromatography. Therefore, we are not taking this B term. We are taking only C term. This is the Van Dimter equation which change for the longitudinal diffusion. Okay, this is about the longitudinal diffusion. Now this longitudinal diffusion B is given by equation 2 gamma dm upon mu, means longitudinal diffusion is directly proportional to diffusion coefficient of mobile phase. What is this dm? Dm is the diffusion coefficient of the mobile phase, and this longitudinal diffusion is inversely proportional to flow rate. Okay, this longitudinal diffusion is directly proportional to diffusion coefficient of the mobile phase. As we have seen, it fully depends upon the mobile phase, diffusion coefficient of this mobile phase. Okay, this is all about the longitudinal diffusion. Now we will see the third factor, that is the mass transfer coefficient. C mu is the This C mu is given by Cs mu plus Cm mu. Means what? Mass transfer in stationary phase and mass transfer in mobile phase. Now this mass transfer coefficient in the stationary phase, we are using stationary phase as a solid stationary phase and as a liquid stationary phase. When we are taking liquid stationary phase, this liquid is immobilized on the solid surface. Okay. Firstly, we will see this CSU. CSU means mass transfer coefficient in stationary phase. Now when the liquid stationary phase, when we are using liquid stationary phase, the equation is CSU is equal to Fk d square T upon ds mu. This is the equation for the liquid stationary phase coated on the solid support. In this case, the mass transfer is directly proportional to square of the thickness of the liquid coating on the stationary phase. When we are using liquid stationary phase in the column, then mass transfer is directly proportional to square of the thickness of the liquid coating. Now when we use the thick film, then what happen? The particles will travel in this thick film. Due to this thick film, due to this thickness, it decreases the flow rate. Therefore, retention time will increase. Due to this increase in retention time, the separation requires large time. Due to this, what happen? We obtain the broad band due to this long retention time, and that's why we have to use thin film. What is this liquid stationary phase? We are taking liquid coated on the stationary phase, and this in this case the mass transfer is directly proportional to square of thickness of the liquid coating. Now if the thickness is higher, then what happen? Due to this higher thickness of the stationary phase, the components in the mobile phase will require larger time because they spend more time in that stationary phase. Therefore, flow rate will decrease and retention time will increase. Means large time will require for retention of this elution of this component. Therefore, we have to use the thin film. Okay, thin film gives best result in case of the liquid stationary phase. Now when we use solid stationary phase, then what happen? If we use solid stationary phase, then this Cs mu is directly proportional to time, means retention time. Okay. Now what happens in the solid stationary phase? In solid stationary phase, there will be the adsorption, desorption. Okay. Now in solid stationary phase, what happens? As the flow rate increases, the elution will be faster, and as the flow rate decreases, elution will be slower. Means mass transfer will increase when elution is flow rate is faster. It also depends upon the affinity of the stationary phase and the mobile phase. Suppose this is the stationary phase and in the column, and this is the mobile phase, components in the mobile phase. If these components have the strong affinity with the mobile phase and the least affinity with the stationary phase, what will happen? If this component have the strong affinity with the mobile phase, they will come faster with the mobile phase, they will flow with the mobile phase, then elution will be faster. And if this component have a strong affinity with the stationary phase, then it will travel slower, because that components will get adsorbed over the stationary phase. Then for desorption of this stationary phase, it will require longest time, therefore retention time will increase. So that to increase the elution, the affinity with the mobile phase must be higher. Then it is also related to the flow rate. If the flow rate is higher, elution will be faster, and if flow rate is lower, elution will be lower. But if we are using higher flow rate, then what happen? Then elution will not take place. All the components will be there in the mobile phase. There is no separation. Therefore, we have to use the average flow rate. It must not be too low or it must not be too high. This is related to the mass transfer coefficient in the mobile phase. This flow rate and affinity with the mobile phase is related to the mass transfer in the mobile phase. This mass transfer in the mobile phase, it is directly proportional. When we are using mass transfer for the mobile phase, we have seen mass transfer in mobile phase, it is related to the affinity with the stationary phase. If affinity with the stationary phase with less, then it will travel faster, because then it will have the affinity with the mobile phase higher. Then what happen? This mass transfer coefficient in mobile phase is directly proportional to d square p for the open tubular column and for the packed column. When we are using packed column, then what happen? The mass transfer coefficient is directly proportional to internal square of the internal diameter of the particle. Okay, if we are using packed column, then mass transfer is directly proportional to square of internal diameter of the particles. Okay, and if we are using open tubular column, then what happen? This mass transfer is proportional to square of the diameter of the column. For packed column, mass transfer is proportional to square of diameter of the particle which are there in the stationary phases. And for open tubular column, the mass transfer is directly proportional to square of diameter of the column. This is about the mass transfer effect. Now due to this mass transfer also, there is the band broadening because of the flow rate and because of the affinity. Okay, there is also band broadening. Therefore, this Van Dimter equation explains the band broadening. This Van Dimter equation means rate theory. This is eddy diffusion which explains the multipath effect. Due to this multipath effect, there is the broadening of the peak. Now this is B means the longitudinal diffusion. Now in this longitudinal diffusion there is the turbulence effect, and that turbulence effect shows the band broadening. Okay, now that turbulence effect is absent in the liquid chromatography. Turbulence effect only shown by the gas chromatography. Longitudinal diffusion shown by the gas chromatography. Therefore equation for the liquid chromatography is changed and it is A plus Cu. And for Aedes diffusion is absent in gas chromatography. It is present only in the liquid chromatography because only liquids follow the multipath. Gas will not follow the multipath. Gas will show the turbulence effect and it shows the longitudinal diffusion. Therefore, for the gas chromatography, Van Demeter equation changes as H is equal to B upon U plus Cu. Okay. Then we have seen the mass transfer coefficient for stationary phase and for the mobile phase. This is all about the red theory, which explains about the peak broadening.